Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's ad-free live stream. I apologize right up front. My camera is not working. So I'm going to be continuing to work on that while we are streaming, but yeah, I'm not going to be able to have a picture of my pretty, beautiful face. I know it's disappointing to everybody here. I know, but that's just the reality of it. My camera's not working, so I have to address that. I'm going to be addressing that as we go throughout the stream here this morning, but I wanted to get on the stream, get us situated, and get going for the day. So welcome to today's ad stream or live stream. Super pumped that you're here. If you're here for the first time, my name's Tyler, which you can't see my face. But I'm going to be navigating you through the wild world of day trading futures. I'm going to be sharing with you my daily trading bias. I'm going to be taking live trades in front of the screen, on the screen, for you to see so that you can get a front row seat to all the action. No fluff, just the good stuff. In addition to that, if you're looking to take your trading to the next level, you can do so by using the code DTJ, which you'll find down in the description of this video, where you can get up to 80, sometimes 90% off your next evaluation account with Apex. I use funded accounts. I'm going to be trading Apex funded accounts here this morning. We're going to see what the market wants to do. We had some news here at 8:30 this morning, but let's go ahead, open in prayer, and then we will get started. Father, we just honor you this morning. Thank you that despite things not working, Father, you're still in control and you're still a good Father. We thank you for the opportunity we have to build wealth. We thank you for the opportunity to day trade, Father, and I just pray for wisdom to understand the markets, to have wisdom to see the markets. Father, would you give us patience and allow us to wait patiently for the A+ setups that we need to take. Father, we honor you in our trading. We honor you with our lives. Father, may your name be magnified in everything that I do. In Jesus' name, amen. So for those of you joining, my camera is not working here this morning. I am currently charging another battery. I'm seeing if I can replace the batteries and get this up and running. I normally have, my camera is always plugged in anyway, so it should never run out of batteries. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on. So good morning, Woodward. Good morning, Tony. Glad to have you here this morning. Eva, good morning. Glad to have you. Sorry for no camera this morning. I know it's kind of annoying, but we're going to go ahead and you should be able to see my screen. We're going to get started and mark a couple different levels here this morning. So I already did mark our new day opening gap right here. You can see our low and our high from yesterday, end of yesterday, to the beginning of today. And we also need to go ahead and mark our, let's see, our midnight open. And I do want to note that I'm pretty sure that we did not run yesterday's low and we ran it after we closed. So we never ran the previous day low, which was sitting right here, which is what I was expecting us not to do. We ended up just kind of slowly moving that direction, but here's the new day, and immediately after the new day opened, we run the low. Quite interesting. Let's go ahead and mark our midnight open here. Here it is. So I'll be keeping an eye on the chat as much as I can here. Since you guys can't see my face, I apologize about that. Still, we're going to work on that, see if we can get that fixed. All right, so here's midnight open, and we ran it at 313, and we're sitting right there. Okay. Let's see here. I want to go to electronic trading hours, or excuse me, regular trading hours. We're going to drop our opening range gap. So that's going to be our opening range gap. We'll move this to be at the low at opening price. Wilhelm, good morning. Phil, good morning. Northern, good morning. Again, those for you joining, I'll just put up on here. Whoops. NQH. Did I do that right? There we go. Accidentally changed it. For those of you joining, my camera is not working, so I'm going to be trying to troubleshoot that while streaming here this morning. But we'll work on that. But wanted to give you guys, let you know what's going on. Let's jump out to the daily time frame here. Look where we ran. So here's yesterday's price action. Here's today's price action. We ran the low. In the Asia session, we ran the low. We have some low resistance liquidities sitting over here. I'm not sure if we're going to run that or not, considering we've had a big sell-off. And then now we have this giant daily fair value gap sitting right here. So not sure what's going to happen with this. Let's see. We'll just get rid of some of these. I don't need these on here. We'll mark our previous day high. Got about 6 minutes. New reaction might cause new reaction to open. News reaction might cause new reaction on open. Yeah, I think there's some validity to that, Northern. Might see some action as a result of that. So here's the daily time frame. Let's jump up. I want to jump up slightly to the weekly time frame. Look what we've reached for. We've reached for this volume imbalance and this volume imbalance. And now we're sitting right in between both of those volume imbalances on the weekly time frame. That kind of was my interest level for downside. Here's equilibrium of this order block. So we want to see if price is going to stay above here today, right? This is an indication on strength. Does price want to stay above the equilibrium of the weekly order block? Or is it going to be wanting to move lower? You can see that on this week, here's an order block here, expansion higher. We retrace all the way to that order block, and then we expanded higher. We're going to want to see if we're going to want to roll over here with that. On a 4-hour perspective, we've ran the lows here and are moving higher. This is our next 4-hour low. We'll just mark that. This is sell side liquidity here. Black line is sell side liquidity. I'm anchoring it to this low right here. I'll check it out here in a second, Phil. We'll look at, see if it's going to move higher or lower. Got about 4 minutes till open. On the hourly, we got a fair value gap we're currently in right now. I do like this level here. I want to see us, I would like us to see if we want to come back up to the previous day lows. This low right here. So typically we'll rerun and retarget those previous day's lows. So I'm partial for a move higher at the moment. Let's see what we got here. We've already wicked into this 15-minute fair value gap. We got a 15-minute fair value gap sitting right here. We'll see if we are going to close above that. In 3 minutes. 5 minute, we're consolidating. Got another 5-minute fair value gap that's overlapping with the hourly, or overlapping with the midnight open. I like that as well. So initially, I think I'm interested in price expanding higher. We'll see if that is actually what it's going to do or not. We were and have been messing around in this 15-minute fair value gap. It would be nice to see us push a little bit higher. Don't want it to do it quite yet. Pretty lackluster open there, folks. Good morning, Deborah. Adelson, how you doing? 1 second delay is common. It used to be about a 15-second delay. I've got it down to about 4 seconds. So 4 second delay is pretty common. You're not going to get much better than that. Jay, good morning. Tony, good morning. Yeah, that's right. Deborah, how are you feeling this morning? I know you were under the weather yesterday. Let's see what we got. Do we got any other news? FX calendar. Today is Friday. Merry Christmas, by the way, if I haven't said it to you guys. That is it for news today. We had final GDP and unemployment claims. We are officially done for the year as far as news, it sounds like. Sorry about that, Deborah. Well, Tony can speak for himself. There's a big spike at 8:30. Yeah, there was news at 8:30, Tony. And that is pretty much all that happened. So based on what we're seeing here and seeing how we're right in this consolidation, we may not be taking a trade today. We'll see what happens. We're gonna hang out here. I'll at least be on for an hour to get through the first macro time to see if we do anything. But if we don't, we will call it an early day most likely, and maybe call it the year. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. We'll see what the market wants to do here. If it wants to move at all. It has already moved quite a bit, and it could consolidate for a little while. Not going to lie. And I'm not talking just like when I say a little while, a couple hours. I'm talking about a couple days, potentially. For the rest of the next 2 weeks, potentially. I mean, that's a lot. So we've basically erased. Look at that. Isn't this crazy? This is the monthly candles opening price right here. Monthly candles opening price was right there. So all of this for the entire month, we are now back to here with 10, 11 days left in the month. Quite the retracement. Let's look at the monthly candle. Yeah, see that's the monthly candle. See how we made all that, and now we're on the monthly time frame. We are red at the moment. So we'll see. Even on a higher time frame, even on the monthly candle, we haven't had a bearish all year. We've been bullish. We've had retracements, big retracements. June and July, or July and August were pretty lackluster months, but everything for the most part has been moving higher. So what the question is going into 2025, what does that look like? Are we going to find support at these types of levels here and then continue higher? Are we going to finally have a change in state of delivery on a monthly candle? We haven't had a change in state of delivery all year. We've been moving higher on a monthly basis the entire year. We had a weekly change in state of delivery here back in June. That was the down. That was our retracement month. Big correction, but then we moved higher. So a lot to unpack there on what the future holds, but not much happening right here. A lot of wikis and zero fair value gaps. This is where we just sit on our hands and don't do anything. Is there anybody on here that doesn't celebrate Christmas, or they may be from another nation or country that doesn't celebrate it? I'm just curious if they celebrate anything else as we get closer to the end of the year. You celebrate, Wilhelm? Yeah. You guys do anything unique or special? One thing that we do quite consistently. We've done it for 4 years now. Our kids are now getting older. We all make gingerbread houses every year. So I'm actually going to be picking all that stuff up today. All of the candy, sugar, glitter, all that stuff, and we're going to be building gingerbread houses as a family. We do that every Christmas. That's probably that, and we're finally having a little push higher. We'll see if it's extended here. I want to see where the body closes. That's what we're waiting for, is a body close. Outside of that one, that's our. Oh, the other thing we do is we go sightseeing. We go look at all the Christmas lights, and the special thing that I let my kids do is they get to drive the car. So they get to sit in my lap, and then they drive the car in the neighborhoods with while they're sitting in my lap. So I'm pretty sure they preferred the driving more than they prefer seeing Christmas lights, to be honest. But it makes it a little special. It's pretty fun. All right, so here's our expansion higher. Here, look at this, guys. We had straight consolidation, and then we go straight into expansion. We had no grab of liquidity here. There was not a single opportunity for us to do something. So this is going without us simply because there was not an opportunity. Eva, I'm located in Nebraska. My hometown got every year the world's largest gingerbread city. Not a city. Gingerbread. Wait, voted gingerbread city. Okay, so your city got voted the largest gingerbread. Not they created the largest gingerbread city. Or am I getting that right, Northern? So your hometown, Bergen. Okay, that's what I gathered. Okay. So look how we ran straight to this level here. That's what I wanted, but it didn't give us an opportunity. There was no opportunity for us to do anything with that. And look at the expansion on this though. That's 100 handles in 3 minutes. 100 handles in 3 minutes. I mean, these are big candles, folks. I'm pretty sure we can get 10 handles today. I'm pretty sure we can get 10 handles, but we're just going to wait for something that makes sense. Well, way to go, Phil. If you're green, you should be done. I mean, that's 100% I would be done. See the 30-second here. Nothing much on the 30-second either. I guess there was a long on the 30-second right here. That closed. That didn't grab the high. But we really never had a significant any type of displacement, lower or good sweep of liquidity. I mean, yes, we did sweep this one, but not off the open when we're straight consolidating like that. I'm not going to consider that. I'm planning to go to Omaha next year to attend the Berkshire meeting, Warren Buffett's stockholders meeting. Awesome. Well, if you're in town, let me know. Maybe we can grab coffee or something. So this was opening price for the month right here, this blue line. We're going to let me mark that. I'm going to change the color to black. And then this is kind of where we want to, if we're going to go back into this range, this is where we want to find price, find support at. Now on the this is a monthly candle opening price. So I don't it could consolidate around here for the next week if it wanted. But I mean, these are big candles, folks. These are big candles, so be cautious. I feel no urge to take a trade. We're gonna try to take a trade, but I feel no urge to take a trade, and that's the best feeling. It really is. I would be open to this, but my only concern is how large the fair value gap is. That's 30 handles. So maybe we drop down to the 30 second, see if there's something smaller. Here's a 30 second right at the 9:30 opening price. This is probably more comfortable for me. It's 4 handles. That sounds much better in my book. All right, folks, I think I'm going to have a camera here in a second. Alrighty, there we go. Hello. My battery was dead. Apparently it died and was dead so much that it wasn't willing to turn on even though I had it plugged in. So, charged it for a little bit. Should give me enough juice for the day. And then I'll recharge all my batteries. But we'll see what we got. How do you handle the trailing drawdown? God bless. Trailing drawdown is tough. Now, let me ask you this, and I think you said it was Martin. Martin, how do you handle the trailing drawdown? Is your trailing drawdown closed, meaning I'm not in a trade and I'm just in drawdown? Or are you currently in a trade and you're in drawdown? There's 2 ways to handle that. So just clarify for me and then we'll talk about that one. Closed. So if you're in drawdown and you are having issues, what is your normal size? How many contracts are you trading with? And are they micros or minis? No, I don't have a higher high here. I don't have a breaker. I don't have anything that's telling me I can do something right now. And when if I take this this inversion down to the downside, I am literally going to put a 10 handle take profit so that when it pushes, it takes the profit, because I'm not convinced it's going to run for this low. That's kind of the market I think we're in right now. So even though this is the target, what I would be shooting for, making my stop there and wanting it to run here, I'm going to set a profit target for 10 handles to take that 10 handles. Because the candles are big enough, I think it will wick down and at least give it to me. So that's kind of what I'm doing. All right, so you are using one mini contract, Martin. I would drop down to 5 micro contracts. So my rule is, if I'm in drawdown and I'm concerned about it, okay, shoot. Can I get 10 handles here? Okay, I'm selling that. I took a quick trade. Didn't get me much. I had literally no time on that, folks. I didn't even get the full sell that I wanted. I don't think my micro screen is working right now. Let me try it here. All right, there we are. All right, so if I take a trade, I'll be on here. But we just swept this liquidity. I like this screen better right now. We just swept this liquidity right here. So we can't take that opportunity. The inversion on the 30-second worked. It went too quickly for me, and I didn't have my screen ready to go. So I missed that trade, unfortunately. And it swept this low. So right now, I'm thinking we are going to run this low resistance liquidity here. That's what I would be looking at. Martin, I'm going to get to you here, but just we're going to focus on this for a second. Sweep of that. We left this one. It's probably going to push without me, folks. This is not very fun. I could probably just put a quick short on and probably get it. But that's not what I want to do. All right, here's a breaker. This is now our breaker. If we can find resistance here, it comes up into this level. If it can give me 10 handles for a reaction to the downside, I'll consider that. Ugh, what the heck is going on here? Waiting here. Just being careful that it doesn't want to just keep pushing higher. That's the order block. The bearish order block. Breaker, I should say. I'm waiting for a 1-minute change in state of delivery, or is this the 30-second? This is the 30-second. What's the draw, folks? What's the draw? I don't know. I don't have a draw. I don't have a draw on liquidity. That makes this very difficult. We ran up here into this 4 hour and we've wicked down low. I mean, we don't have a draw on liquidity unless we're going to run higher up to this 4 hour fair value gap, which is sitting right here, and it's tiny. On the hourly, we have that. Yeah, the problem is I don't know. I don't have a specific draw on liquidity, so all of this is just difficult to know where we're going to get an extended move. It looked like we were going to get our extended move higher first, then it looked lower, and now it looks like it's the other way. So what we're trying to do is just take something that can give us 10 to 20 handles and get out and be done. That's all we're trying to do. I'm not looking to try to get 50 handle win today. Forget that crap. I'm not doing that. So we ran into this order block. Nice reaction there. Mitigation block. If we get a close on this, I would be interested in that for just 10 handles. This may be quick, folks, so I'm not sure I'm going to be able to switch over to my screen because I want you to see what I'm looking at. Like this right here. Let's see if this gives us the push that we want. I'm watching my other screen right now for my order block, or excuse me, for the fair value gap, the inversion right here. I'm not liking this. Might end up closing it a little soon. Unless it, as long as it respects this fair value gap, I'll hold it. Take care, Ted. All right, I'm going to close that trade. It failed. I didn't take profit at 20 ticks. We do have a larger 1 minute fair value gap that we could be considering as well, but I'm not really going to. There's a volume imbalance right here that I'm seeing. And we ran into the monthly opening price. There's that as well. See there, that 1 minute just failed right there. I took this long. I'm selling there. I don't know if you guys were able to see that or not. No, I wasn't on my screen. So as soon as that changed directions, I immediately got in. And the main reason why I did that is this candle right here. The 959 went right into this fair value gap. It was the only fair value gap, and then we completely, in a matter of a second, closed and was up by 10 handles. And so that's where I took it to these highs. That was more of a, I understand what the market's doing. It's running for liquidity real quick, and then I'm not going to hold it. I'm just going to get out really quick. So I ended up taking that and did not hold it. So that covered my loss from the inversion fair value gap that we took long. It put me slightly in the green. I mean, $40. So not very much. We're going to sit and wait, see if there's anything else. But the problem I'm having right now in our trading is, where's the draw on liquidity? I don't have a clear draw. I've said this multiple times today. I'm saying it multiple times because I need you guys to understand that if there's not a draw on liquidity, it makes it very difficult. We could say we're going to fill the rest of this opening range gap. Okay, I take that back. We have the new day opening gap up here. I want the new day opening gap. So this is my target. I take that back. If I can find an opportunity for that, we'll take that. All right, that's going to be our draw. Also, it gives us these lows from this breaker sitting here. So there's going to be some resistance there. Makes sense that this is sitting there. So I like the way that looks. See if we can find support at this opening price. We got also this order block sitting right there. Not a fair value gap to the left of us on the 1 minute. I think we push higher here. Yeah, that's interesting. I've seen that happen before, but not very often. Where you get, I mean, you look at all it, like right here. Here's a candle at 6 p.m. It didn't give us a wick on the bottom, so don't be so set on it creating a wick that you injure yourself. I think I found my draw on liquidity. Just feel like I probably was a little late in identifying that. We have the 4 hour, we have these swing lows down here, and the new day opening gap. So see if we can get potentially a retracement to an order block and find support at an order block and maybe take along there. Way to go, T-Word. A lot of today is going to be about patience and waiting. Yeah, we may miss a setup or two, but there'll be another setup. The 10 a.m. candle is down here. We didn't even sweep these lows down here. We didn't even get into this 5-minute fair value gap or this 15-minute fair value gap. I kind of would like to see this level ran down here, but I mean, we're talking that's 100 points lower. So big candles, folks. minutes. Yeah, I saw this inversion right here. I just wasn't going to take it. Five-minute swept the highs, made a lower bodies are lower. Looks like seek and destroy conditions. It's 250-50 for me. I'm not taking this at the moment. I'm watching to see if it wants to come back down and retest this before I take it. See if it wants to then expand higher. Way to go, Esteban. Congrats. All right. We just tagged that fair value gap, and I took a quick long in that for about 15 handles. Hopefully I switched over enough for you guys to see that. I just wasn't sure if it was going to expand. If it wanted to expand without me, I was going to let it. If it wicked down in here quickly, and it did, and then immediately bounced back up, that's when I took the long towards the high. So a lot of this is just reading it and seeing what makes sense and taking it. Esteban, do I like cycling? My father does. My father does a lot of biking. But He's at the point now he does it indoors. He has one of these, resistors that he just puts his bike on, has a TV screen, and he says he's going to go biking in France, going to go biking where, in the Alps, and he just cycles there. The 2024 ride. Interesting. That'd be cool. Do you cycle a lot, or it's something that you're interested in and you want to get more into? So folks, I took my long already. I'm not holding anything. I'm not holding nothing. So like I'm using this as my draw, the new day opening gap to get 10, 20 handles, and I'm closing my trades. So I'm not saying, oh, look at this. It's absolutely going to this level. I'm going to hold it. I'm going to be diamond hands and I'm going to get this level. No, because what have we been doing? We've been going up and down all freaking over the place. So after it grabs liquidity here, guess what it's probably going to do? Retrace a little bit, maybe bounce at this previous day low and then bounce a little bit higher. I don't want to mess with that. So, or look, it's hitting this order block. Now it may give us a nice little pop, but then it could retrace some more. I think it's gonna be a slow grind up to this level, and maybe higher. Yeah, that's cool. My father, his partner, I guess you would say, his girlfriend. He's big into, they're big into just watching sports, and so we watch a lot of football. But during cycling, the Tour de France or the Tour de Italy, they watch it, and they watch all those big races. And there's a lot to learn in that sport. It's like they're telling me some of the nuances. So they also, like, one of the things is like if the leader of the race gets a flat tire, the whole pack, I forget what they call it, slows down and waits for the leader to get back in the race. That's just insane. Like the unspoken rules that the peloton, the whole peloton slows down and waits for the leader to get back into it. And then they keep going. I'm like, see ya, loser. I'm going. No, it's crazy. It's a lot of respect. So there was a lot of different things that I did not know, like how they use the restroom, how they refuel, like how they get. It was pretty cool. It's not something that I could sit there and just watch. It's kind of one of those, you fall asleep, you wake up, you see where it's at, you get in the action, you fall asleep, you wake up, you see where it's at. I guess that's the difference between athletes and spectators. Spectators take naps during their competitions. No, I'm not. I think I have an account on there, but where I'm at is on X. If you want to connect with me, X is the place. That's really where I spend all my time. I'm on Facebook maybe once a month, if that. Barely. So X is where I connect with people. So see how we are not just running straight for those highs, even though in these candles it looked like it. And see how I literally sold somewhere around this high here. And look, we haven't done anything else. That's why. I'm just 10 handles and out. 10 handles and out. And actually, I'm going to be done for the day. I'm not taking another trade. I got up above my minimum threshold that I prefer to be at, which is about $200 per account. That's my minimum. I don't have, my maximum is 30%. obviously. So 30% of a starting balance. So at $4,000 is $1,200. So I'll typically keep my individual account balances. I like it to be above 200 or below, typically below 1,000. I don't want to go too high initially. Once I get my accounts established really well, then those rules will go away. Now, I'm going to go back to the question that Martin had. Martin, are you still on the stream? Just give me a thumbs up if you're on the stream, because I'm not going to talk about it unless you're on here. Martin had a question. There you are, Martin. Martin had a question in regards to how do you deal with drawdown? And there's two types of drawdown. There's obviously drawdown of a current live trade that you're dealing with. And the way you deal with that is simply by following your rules. Having a solid stop loss that you're not going to go below. And then if it goes below that, you either have it automatically liquidated or you close the trade. It's as simple as that. You have to have a set level you are looking at. Now, it's helpful to have a set level that makes sense. For example, if we were looking at this as an order block and we were long, right? Let's say we went long on this order block right here, okay? And Martin, I'm getting to you. We're just going to do this a roundabout way, okay? So let's say you went long when price went down here and your target was really high, okay? Your target was way up here that you're wanting to hit, and we didn't hit that yet, right? And we start retracing. So my order block right here, I would have two options on where I'd place my stop. It would either be at the midpoint of these down close candles, which in this case would be right here. Let me remove that. And let me remove this. Okay, so it would be either at the midpoint of these down close candles, or some people will put them at the low of that down close candle. Okay, so obviously this size is very large. And Martin, this is relating to your question. Look at the stop loss on this right here. That is 40 handles. If I take a mini contract with 40 handles, I'm literally going to blow my account. So can I do that? No. Okay, so the next option is here. Can I do 18 handles? Preferably not. So if I can't do my stop loss here, the only option for me on a trade like this is to do smaller size. In this case, maybe from 1 mini contract to 5 micros. So I drop down to 5 micros, and if I take this stop, well, 5 micros on this is $200 if it hits the stop. So I'm allowing for a $200 loss on this trade right here. So are you comfortable with a $200 loss? That's the question. So when you're in a live trade, you are basically finding out what your risk is immediately or even before you take the trade. Now, many times I have a standard stop loss. I know that $200 is the max I want to lose on an individual trade. Now, do I lose more than that sometimes because I don't set my solid stop loss? Yes, because I get filled maybe at 15 handles or 25 handles depending on how many contracts I have, and it just adds a little bit more. That's okay. I'm okay overall with that because some of my stops are based on the close of a candle, not the wick of a candle. And because of that, I have to accept how I'm going to take those stops. Now, the thing is, you as a trader determine this before you ever get into the trade. So now the question we come to is Martin's question is, how do you deal with drawdown? And drawdown is closed drawdown. So I've had a loss, I've had 2 losses, maybe I've had 4 or 5 losses in a row. How are you going to deal with those losses? Well, logically, there's only one answer. You reduce your size. You take smaller trades, okay? So if I am in drawdown by $500, I want to get my account back up to $250 on a reduced amount, on a reduced size, before I go back to my full size. And then I will go back to my full size, even though I'm still $250 in drawdown. Now, if I'm larger in drawdown, then you're reducing your size altogether, and you're staying on that lower size, because what these losses or these multiple consistent losses are telling you is that you're not consistent enough to be on a higher contract. So 100%, if you're trading with one mini contract, you need to move down to micros, okay? Move down to 10 micros. That's still one mini contract. Yes, it costs you more money, but you can size into trades. So you could take 5 micros instead of 10 micros, and then if you see the trades playing out, add 5 more micros on a retracement when you're sizing in. Or you just stick with 5 micros. I'm not trading with one mini contract right now. I did last week, or I did earlier this week or last week, because I wanted to size up and it worked out. But I have bigger losses with those too. But I was okay, and I was mentally prepared to take those bigger losses. Now, you have to mentally prepare to size up. But when we're in drawdown, we need to size down. Your ultimate goal is to preserve your capital long enough for you to become consistently profitable. You need to position yourself in a way that allows you to not blow your accounts so that you can be in this for the long run. Your primary focus needs to be education, not profit. Your primary goal needs to be education, not profit. The reason for that is, as you focus on education, as you focus on following your rules, as you focus on following your model, and you consistently improve that model, you consistently get better at not taking crappy trades, you're going to see your win rate increase. I saw my win rate increase by doing one thing, by waiting. I talked about this a bunch yesterday. I did a whole video on the live stream specifically talking about the power and the secret of waiting. You simply waiting can improve your win rate, because you're not taking every pattern that you see show up on the charts. And this allows you to build that consistency so that you can get yourself out of that drawdown. Now, drawdown is something everybody has to deal with. And it is very important that you don't hit the easy button or go the scapegoat route and blow your account and just open a new one. For everybody that has been down, I've been down to $15 before I've blown an account. Okay? I've had a 50K account and I was down at $2,485. I was $15 away from blowing an account. And I was determined. I'm like, I have to learn to claw myself out of these drawdown positions. Because if I don't, I never build that muscle that it's possible. You need to prove to yourself that you have the ability to claw yourself out of this drawdown. You have to do that. If you want to take the next step into your trading journey, into your trading career, and become more profitable even, you are going to have to prove to yourself that you can get yourself out of drawdown. You're going to have to prove that you have the ability to reduce your size, be even more consistent and strict on the trades and opportunities you take to work yourself out of that position. And boy, oh boy, when you do it, I've done it. I did it on that account. On that account, do I have that account anymore? No, it's gone. I blew it. But do I know that I have the ability to work myself out of drawdown? 100%. 100%. Does it still suck? Absolutely. It's horrible. I hate it. But I know that I have the skill set to do it. And it's something you as a trader are going to have to do to get yourself to that next level. You're going to have to do it. So take those accounts that are just about to be blown, set your new accounts aside, and put all your energy into turning that account positive again. Because when you can prove to yourself you can do that, the confidence level you're going to receive is significantly more valuable than you closing that account and getting a new one. 100%. It is a very important skill set that every trader has to learn and go through and build it up. You can even probably ask the chat. I guarantee you somebody in this chat has had to go through that and has done it, or has found victory, or has failed and has to try again. It's part of the journey. It's part of the journey, and it is totally possible for you to claw yourself out of drawdown. This is how you deal with drawdown. This is how you deal with drawdown, and you can do it. It's possible. Don't give up. Determine today that you're not going to close a almost blown account. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't take the easy road. Take the hard road. Take the lessons that are going to be learned from doing the hard thing, and build that muscle, because when you do it, you're going to see success. I have an account right now. I have an account that a funded account that I've had for I think almost 80 days now. I've had it for almost 3 months now, since I blew all my accounts back in July. I had to rebuild all of those. I left a limit order on, and it basically blew my accounts. I've had that account for 80 days. I have had that in drawdown multiple times. I've been down $700, $1,500, $2,000 at different levels as I'm growing that account. And I still have that account today because I've determined that I'm going to see, I'm treating this like a real account. I'm treating it like my own. This is my thing. It's paid for. I have this account for 10 years. 10 years. As long as I don't let it go below 50,000. Because if I let it go below 50,000, they'll close and liquidate the account. So this, to me, is like my way. I'm going to continue to grow this account. And I've had to get out of drawdown myself. So it's totally possible for you guys to do it. And it's an absolute lesson that needs to be learned. So there you go. Hopefully that helps. Now, look at what has happened while I'm talking about discipline and getting yourself out of drawdown. We've had this basically 15 straight green candles or so. We've hit not only the new day opening gap, but the previous day's new day opening gap as well, sitting right here. Now we have liquidity, low resistance liquidity sitting right here. Guys, I really don't care. I really don't care. I'm not going to try to capitalize on all of this. The move was down here, folks. If you take a move up here, your odds are way less. Okay? Your odds are way less of success. Your chances of getting it to draw down are even greater. And unless we retrace, 50% of this range, that's what you should be waiting for, something like this. Waiting for price to come back down to these levels here. and then find that it wants to find support and then move higher, then you could potentially go for these. But I don't even see these as draws on liquidity yet. Why don't I see this as a draw on liquidity? We will not hit this previous day high. There's no way we're going to run this high. I will almost put money on it. And the reason for that is when I look at the daily candles, we've already ran the previous day low. The odds say that this won't happen very often, and it happens only 10% of the time. Could this be a 10% day? I guess you could say that. It's been a little bit since we've had a double break day. The last double break day was right here on November 19th. This was our last double break day. November 19th was a double break day. You can see how this candle ran this high and this low. So these are the highs and lows that price ran. We ran it here and ran it here. So we haven't had one for a minute. So I guess we potentially could be due one. Honestly, I thought this candle was going to be a double break. No, this candle was going to be a double break day. I was waiting for it to run these highs and then drop. That when we were having FOMC, I was expecting price to run these highs first. I took an eval trade, and I went long on the news on an eval account because I was expecting us to hit these highs and then do the drop, and we didn't run the highs. So I thought this was going to be a double break day because I'm like, it's been a minute since we've had a double break day. The structure's here. It could make sense to wick it and then drop, but it just dropped without me. Well, technically I was long, so I got liquidated on that eval account. But I was willing to take that risk. So do we do that here? Probability says no, but it is, I guess you could say it's still possible. The question is do you want to take that risk? I really don't, especially when I know that the odds are 77% of the time we're only running one of them. Do I want to take a 33% chance that we're going to do that and then also do it at the right time so I can profit? I mean, if you're just going for 10 handles, 15 handles, then yeah, you could probably do that. But if you're trying to get a good 50 handle, 100 handle move, that's I mean, I don't even think I've done a 100 handle move yet. I think the most I've done was 80. 80 handles was my biggest trade, I think. Honestly, I don't remember. All right, what is chat saying? I missed a lot of this stuff here. Okay. Window circle trader, yeah, averaging down is like horrible. It's gotten me out of situations, but averaging down is not a good practice to have, in my opinion, for the most part. There are cases it makes sense if you go such small size that it makes sense. So if you do a micro contract and then you average down to add 2 micros because you're way undersized, that's fine. That's possible. But then you got to make sure that your trade idea still makes sense, because if you're averaging down, has it gone low enough to where it's violated 3 PD arrays? Because if it violates 3 PD arrays, you should probably just close the trade. ICT talks about violations of 3 PD arrays means you're going to get butt hurt. Again, winner circle trader, that's a good one. No negative comments about yourself. You can talk about good trades, that's fine. But the good trades that you take, you got to be careful that pride doesn't creep in and start clouding your judgment. Martin, I mean, the trailing drawdown on Apex to get a payout, it's getting higher to the highest point you could take. So the trailing drawdown, honestly, is only an issue for those that don't have proper risk management. If you have poor risk management and you're allowing your trades to have drawdown by 30% of your balance, that's probably not wise. So your best bet is on a funded account is to reduce your size. It's the number one reason people hit their limits is because they oversize. So I have an account right now that got denied a payout again, and it's the same account that was denied before, and it was denied 2 times in a row. And the thing about it is, the reason why it was denied is my balance wasn't large enough. I just wanted to try to take a $500 withdrawal on it so I could see if it would pass, because it will look past your 8 days. Especially if you have a denial, it will look at your first denial, see if you've acquired funds, if you've acquired gains, and then your goal is to get the smallest withdrawal you can make on a denied account. So let's just say your first request was denied. Okay, 8 days go by, your first request was denied because you hit your 30% drawdown. Okay, not a problem. The next trade, the next 8 days, you're trading, and you're like, oh, I'm doing really good. You make, $50 to $100 a day. Okay, you're going to request now on your second payout 8 days later. Here's the issue most people make. Most people make a request that is larger. So not only are they requesting from that second payout period, but they're also trying to get the money from the first payout period that was denied. The mistake is, well, they're looking back at that first request period as well as your current request period for your current request amount. So if your request amount surpasses the amount you made during your second request period and starts dipping into your first request period, they will deny that request, because your request wasn't just for the amount you gained during your second request period. It overlapped into that first denied request period that you got denied on. So the key is, when you are trading, you've had a denial. If you don't want a second denial, your trading needs to, during that second request period, needs to be consistent, following your rules, and then requesting only the smallest amount you can request, so that it stays within the dollar amount is all made within that second request period. Why is this important? Because you want to make sure you can get that account, that red flag, removed from that account. And what is the red flag? The red flag is it's been denied. So it does, every time you get an approved request, it wipes clean the slate and it looks at the next 8 trading period, the next 8-day trading period. But if you get denied, it includes it. And if your request is too large because it's overlapping multiple pay periods, they'll deny it. So the safest answer to make sure that you don't get denied multiple times if you have a denial already is, on that second request, only do a $500 request. Okay? Only make a $500 request on that account. And if you do that, you have a greater probability of them giving you the green light of approval. And then it wipes clean that previous denial, and now it's not on your record anymore, and you won't have any issues taking larger withdrawals. Okay. Now, when I made my withdrawal, I knew that my balance was relatively low. It was actually at 53,250. And I wasn't sure if I had enough in there, but I wanted to see if it would approve, and it didn't. So what I have to do, I had some negative days. You guys were on stream on some of those negative trade days. So my goal on some of these accounts that have been flagged denied is to get them out of that. I don't care if I have $58,000 in there. I'm only going to withdraw or do a request of $500, which is the minimum amount you can request. And I need to get that flagged off that account, get it removed so that it's green. And when it's green, then it's brand new. I can take a $2,000 request after that because it won't affect that previous denial will not affect any future request anymore. When you get an approved payout, the approved status kind of wipes clean everything else. So that's just a little tidbit on how to make sure you can get out of that, because that 30% drawdown ultimately is a good thing. I see it as a good thing ultimately. It really helps you manage your risk better. It really does, in my opinion. It really requires you to think. I had some people comment on my post that were talking about, you know what, Apex sucks. If they make you have to do all the math to figure out what that is, honestly, we should be doing that anyway. We're talking about our finances. We're talking about money. We should know what's going on with our money. We should know how much I'm willing to lose. We should know how much I'm willing to gain conservatively so it doesn't look like I'm just gambling. We should be doing that anyway on each account. And if you copy an account, just focus on one account. If you trade individual accounts, multiple individual accounts, then you need to do it on all of them. You just need to know. It's just good to know. Master one or two micro contracts proving you don't have to cannonball into losers like a loser and then go 3 micros 4. Yep, you slowly increase in size. And then you have to relearn everything once again. Trades for fun. I'm glad this hit you. It's a huge lesson. I mean, it's something that even to this day, I have to consistently remind myself of the things that I know. And so it's not just like you learn it once and you got it. You're going to have to tell yourself and relearn some of these things every single day when it comes to risk management. Edward, sorry, I'm guessing you probably left now. I'm done trading on the day. I'll call out trades that show up, but there isn't anything good here. We're consolidating. We're coming up on a new macro time. We have some relatively equal highs sitting right here. But, I mean, I'm done. So if you don't like that, you don't like this, you want less talking, you can mute me and go somewhere else. But I'm going to talk about what I think is important. And here's the other thing. Each trader is in a different position. My position right now is I'm done for the day. Maybe you haven't taken a trade and you're waiting for that perfect setup. Then you should keep looking for trades. And I get it. I mean, if you're looking for a trade, you don't want to hear a guy ramble on about something unrelated to taking a trade. So I get it. That's fine. Yeah, replay mode, it works, it's helpful, but reading live price action is the best. So winner circle trigger. The only thing I'd add is just go on demo. Log out of your account completely. Select a paper account. I'm in a paper account right now, and you can from here you can look for trades, and you can test out your strategies. You can test out breakers. Why did this breaker fail? Why did this breaker win? So I like demo account. If you have the time to sit in front of live price action, nothing beats live price action. I'm not a big fan of ticker charts. Merry Christmas, Northern. And there we have it, folks. We got through all of the chat. Okay. I think we'll probably go higher. We found some support at this new day opening gap. We could get a bigger retracement, but I mean, I wouldn't want to go long until we had a larger retracement, something that was convincing that it wanted to go lower, and then it finds support at the new day opening gap. You could say these equal lows that were right here. These relatively equal lows right here. You can treat that as a breaker. But going long right now, I think you would take on more risk. It could work out, but personally, it's not something I would want to do. What I would want to see first is we have our accumulation right here. I would want to see accumulation like we're seeing right now. I would want to see manipulation and then distribution. It could be the other way as well. It could go the other way, but ultimately that's what I'd be looking for. I think, folks, I know we're in the middle of the macro. I think we're going to call it here. I'm going to call it a day. Merry Christmas. Have a fantastic weekend. I don't know if I'm going to be on or not. I don't know what's going to happen on Monday or Tuesday. I think Christmas is Wednesday, I believe. Yeah, Christmas is Wednesday. So Monday and Tuesday. The truth is I'm probably going to be on. If I'm not, I'll let everybody know. But the truth is I'm probably going to be on. I like doing this. I really do. So I'll be back here most likely on Monday. Use the code DTJ, guys, if you are interested in Apex. I'll be putting on my channel if there's a promotion. I'll drop that on X if there is a promotion. Follow me on X, guys. If you're not on it, it's a great way to just get more information, be connected with other traders. There is a little bit of drama and that crap that I don't like that goes on there, but you can mute them and get rid of those people. But for the most part, follow and find me on X and let's connect there. So God bless, guys. Stay safe, and we'll see you tomorrow or on Monday. Take care.